Welcome back to Journey Soup. My name's Andrew Lynn, and today I want to go over 13 benefits of utilizing an Amazon virtual assistant in your FBA business or your fulfillment by merchant business. So, of course, what is a virtual assistant? This is somebody we hire from outside of the country that will work for a much cheaper price than, let's say, here in the US or Australia or UK or wherever you are from. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. So before I jump into the 13 benefits, if you are looking for a virtual assistant, keep in mind that in the description, there is going to be a link and we can get you set up with a whole bunch of different interviews. Now, if you are a virtual assistant, you can go ahead and click the VA Inc. link and fill out that submission and we can pre-interview you and see if we can find you a client. So let's jump into the first one, and that's gonna be customer service. So it's pretty basic. We're always on Amazon, at least, right? We're always getting on Seller Central every single day, and we might be getting refunds, customers reaching out to us, and obviously we have to respond to them in a timely manner. So if we do these things, one, it can cut down on refunds, and then two, it can help us even get rid of the negative feedback, things like that, if we deal with the customers in the correct way. So a lot of us business people, we're busy, or let's say we go on vacation. It's always good to have two eyes. So with one of my VAs, I have her looking at it every single day, right? So she just checks it every day, even on the weekends, she checks it, and we just it just helps our company really have a little bit of ease of mind, because we know every single day somebody's checking it. Of course, I'm still getting on there, so we have lots of eyes on it to make sure that we are not getting bad reviews or not responding to people, because Amazon does care about your metrics. So the faster we respond to people, the better. So, I would just say in general, dealing with people, having an extra set of eyes on what's going on is going to always be a benefit for your company. The second would be opening up accounts with suppliers, distributors. Now, a lot of you guys probably know I'm mostly a wholesale company, right? We buy and sell brand name products from US based suppliers, but I also have a private label. Now, my private label is manufactured here in the US, but most people it's manufactured in China. So whether you're doing private label or wholesale, regardless, we have to find suppliers, right? So with wholesale, we've got to reach out to a whole bunch of different suppliers, get their catalogs of all their different products, and then start scanning through them to see if they have good products, right? And then there's also a whole section of filling out, you need your EIN number, you need your reseller's permit, you have to send all this stuff to the supplier. Sometimes it takes them a day or two to respond to us. So having a VA take over that task is just super, super beneficial, right? This just saves me a lot of time, because at least for me, I don't want to have the headache of, I'm waiting for somebody to send me an email, and now I'm waiting, and now finally when it gets there, I have to respond super quick. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm pretty busy. So I leave opening up accounts, like supplier, distributor accounts, 100% up to the VAs. I don't do any of it. Now, once I want to build a relationship with that supplier, distributor, of course, then at that point, I might be reaching out and I'm paying for the orders, things of that nature, because you don't always want to give your virtual assistants, unless you truly trust them, your credit card information and, things like that. Now, I will say I do have a VA that I allow to pay stuff. She even sends out invoices, all that stuff, but I've been working with her a long time. She's like family. So that'd be one huge task that you can be taking off your plate is, them reaching out to the suppliers, the distributors, and really making that initial contact, filling out all the different forms, and just doing the communication, because sometimes it can be slow and tedious. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to do slow and tedious with, 20 different suppliers. So the third one is going to be product sourcing. So at least in wholesale, once we open up an account and we get a catalog of all their products, this could be anywhere from 1,000 products to 100,000 different products, right? And at that point, what we do is we use a catalog analyzer. Well, actually, your VA could use a catalog analyzer and scan through all those products to get potentially good ones. So maybe you have a catalog of 10,000 different products. You can narrow that down to, let's say, 100 potentially profitable ones, and now that person can really start going through those different products. Now, let's say you are doing private label. Well, kind of the same idea, right? You can have, first, like the last one, they can reach out to the different suppliers, and then after that, they can go through products, talk to them, find out prices, and narrow down all those different suppliers into a list of, you know, potentially good suppliers that can create your backpack or your candle or your whatever the heck it is that you're trying to do for private label. And then all you now have to do is get samples from those different ones, and, you know, you can make that executive decision on that. So number 4 is going to be product research. So this one's a huge one, right? Once we do find those potentially good products, at least in wholesale, once we've scanned through a catalog, well, we have to do the product research on them, because just because it's profitable right now, it might be selling at, let's say, $9.99, but, you know, last week or a month ago, it was selling at $7.99. So maybe we're profitable now, but we might not be, it might go back down to that same price, and maybe we're losing money or even breaking even, right? So it's really good to have somebody who understands product research to actually go through all these products and kind of just, because if you get a list of 100 of them, trust me, you're gonna maybe get 10 good ones out of that 100, right? So now the virtual assistant is going to go through all 100 of those and narrow that down to 10 of them and give you a purchase order, right? So once they give you this purchase order, now all you have to go through is the 10 products, make sure, confirm it, or if you get advanced enough, we do have buyers. So we have buyers that will then all they do is go through the purchase orders, right? So we have one VA that actually does everything for us, you know, gets that purchase order, and we have another VA that only goes through that purchase order. So we have 2 eyes on it. Now, I don't know if you guys know, but I have another channel, the FBA Machine, where we do a lot more Amazon stuff. But, you know, we're a massive company. We have tons and tons of VAs. But for you, what you're going to want to do is have them go through it. And you really, especially, you know, if you're new or you don't have a VA that you 100% trust, you want to go through that final purchase order. But trust me, it's much easier to just be going through purchase orders than having to worry about opening up accounts with suppliers, you know, getting the catalog, scanning through them, doing the initial one, and then, you know, now obviously all we have to do is just go through a purchase order of 10 items, confirm it, pay for it, and start building that relationship with that supplier. So, you know, the same idea is going to go for, you know, private label, let's say. In private label, you know, as you're looking at these products, you know, it's product research, right? So this would be more so when you're trying to figure out if this product is going to be profitable. And when they're getting all the, you know, figuring out your prices, what your price is going to be, you know, you can have them make a spreadsheet of, you know, what's your ROI going to be, what's your cost of goods, you know, what's shipping going to be, what's all this other stuff. So a little bit more labor intensive with wholesale, where private label would be more like the initial figuring everything out. So 2 different things, but kind of the same idea. All right. And number 5 is going to be shipping management. Now this one's huge for wholesale because, you know, once I do confirm that purchase order, once again, I don't want to communicate back and forth with the suppliers all the time, right? Like, it's not something that I want to do all day and every day. So once I've purchased the products, then I actually have my suppliers upload it. They send it into a prep center, you know, where they actually prep my products. Now you can send your products to your house. You can do it however you want. I truly recommend a prep center. If you are interested in a prep center, a good one, go ahead and, you know, leave me a comment and I'll let you guys know, you know, which ones I recommend. But the biggest thing is that they are going to upload it to the prep center, and depending on your prep center, they're going to communicate back and forth. You know, I prefer to use an automated prep center where I just upload it and everything's done after that. But they're keeping track of it. Now, once those products are shipped into Amazon, if there's any discrepancies, right, that VA is always, the second it's in there, they're checking the discrepancies and making sure. So we send in 100 of this product, it did 100 get received, right? Because if 100 did not get received, we're gonna reconcile and get our money back from Amazon. And these are things, or from the supplier, you know, but these are things that we really wanna take care of as quickly as possible. We don't wanna wait on it. We don't wanna put it off. You know, we want that, because it's just money being wasted, right? So we instantly jump in there and have our VAs always watching this, always taking care of it. So, also with private label, since we're talking about kind of both these things, right? I mean, all these things really pertain to private label, online arbitrage, wholesale, they're all just a little bit different, right? So, same idea, right? Is having, you can have your virtual assistant make sure they're keeping track of the shipping, help set up the shipping. Now, I will say it's a little bit easier to train somebody in wholesale compared to private label, in my opinion, but I'm also much better at wholesale than private label, right? So I'm just more confident with wholesale, so that might just be a personal thing with me. I personally, dealing with, freight forwarding and all that stuff from China and customs and blah, 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 it's kind of a headache. So, for me, at least, I'm a huge fan of wholesale, but with wholesale, you have lots of different orders coming in, right? So you're making purchase orders all the time. So, I don't want to get on there and be checking it every day. I just have somebody that gets on there. They're making sure, pretty much all the steps, making sure we don't have any customer service issues. Once we, seeing when a shipment gets in, making sure everything actually got in there. If not, we reconcile. So, huge benefit of having a virtual assistant. And, I can tell you it's definitely saved me money having some, not only in my own time, but, just not procrastinating, or I'm on vacation or I'm traveling, or I'm in a place I don't have internet. I still have eyes on my business. So number 6 is going to be repricing products, right? So obviously some new people, you reprice products manually. You go through every day and make sure, you're hitting that buy box. Most of us advanced sellers, we're using a repricer that is doing it automatically. So it's it's pretty much AI that's constantly, if somebody lowers the price, it matches it. And then you have, you just put on your spreadsheet, a minimum that you want to sell it at and the highest. So as long as it's in that range, you're profitable, that repricer will always keep you competitive. Now, one thing that you will run into, because you're probably wondering, why do I need a VA if I have AI that does it? Well, sometimes you're going to lose money on products, right? So rather than that product sitting there forever, they can really jump in there and see how many, so they can jump into that listing, right? So this listing all of a sudden is not selling. So the AI is not, let's say it's at $9.99 and it's selling right now for $8.99 at $1 loss, right? Well, do we want to sit on that product and wait for it to go back up? Or do we want to liquidate it, buy new products, and then restart? That is going to be partly a product research thing and seeing how many your competitors have. So if it's dropped down and my competitor who's selling at $8.99 only has 20 units left, well, guess what? I might wait for it to go back up. But if they have 1,000 units or 300 units and it only sells 200 units a month, well, do I want to wait a month and a half? Do I want to wait 2 months, 3 months? You have to figure out, how long it's going to take you to be before that product goes up. And then maybe somebody else comes in lower also, right? So a lot of times we have the VAs, the second they go in there, they'll do the product research on it and let us know, do you, are the other people selling on this listing have this many, products left, and we think it's going to go back up, or if not, and then you can make the executive decision, or you can let them make the executive decision. It's really up to you and how much you trust your virtual assistant. I will say, once you've had a virtual assistant for years and years and years, they really become kind of a second entity to yourself, right? You really know what they're capable of and what they're not capable of, right? So just like anybody from anywhere in the country, like US, we all have, things that we're really good at, and then probably things that we're not so good at. So, repricing products is a huge thing in our Amazon business, especially once you get to volume. And having $1,000 of stuff just sitting there for 3 months is not beneficial. So the faster those things get taken care of, you're really just saving yourself money, right? So that the VA should pay for themselves and then some, right? Of course, if you're a newer business, it's not going to be as beneficial, because right off the bat you're trying to build your business and you don't have as much income coming in. If you're making $10,000 a month or even $3,000 a month, what does it matter if you're paying somebody $800? They're pretty much running your business for you, right? And that's a full-time VA for around $800, so it's huge. So once again, guys, if you are interested in VA, go ahead and click the link down below. We can get you set up with interviews. We also have another page. You guys can click the card up here where it's profit page where we actually interview some different VAs from the Philippines, from Jamaica. So you can kind of see the type of quality people that we can get. And, if you like one of them, if they're still available, we can hook you up with them also. So let's jump into the next one. So number 7 is going to be saving time. So at least for me, I'm busy. I want to travel. I want to do fun things. I don't want to be I don't want to have a life where I have to always be on my computer, always doing things, always checking up and responding to suppliers. And the biggest thing, at least for me, virtual assistants can do for your business is they can take all these little tasks that are just, at least in my opinion, annoying or not a great, it's not really worth my time to be doing it. And they take those over, and it really just alleviates a lot of stress. And, just at least for me, it gives me the freedom to be able to go spend time with family or go travel, or maybe I want to go hiking in some country and I'm not going to have internet, or, I still know that my business is running and I actually have the time to do those. So if anybody's watched my channel before, Journey Soup is a lot of my stuff is about traveling and making money online to give you freedom, right? I don't care about making millions and millions of dollars personally. I know a lot of people do. I care more about having a business that's running for me and I can do the things I want to do. I care about living my life. I'd rather make less money and travel the world and do fun things than, make a crazy amount of money and be on my computer all day. And next thing I know, I'm 60 years old and I haven't really experienced life for the world. So, that's a huge one, saving time. Number 8 is going to be cost effective. So obviously a huge benefit of hiring out a virtual assistant, let's say from the Philippines or Jamaica or wherever, you get your VAs from, is you can pay them a lot less than you could hiring somebody from the US. So let's be honest, nowadays, you pretty much, the cheapest you'll get anybody here in the US seems to be like $15 now, right? A lot of people want to get paid 20, 30, or a lot of people should get paid even more than that, right? So, what do you really value your time at? Like, to me, I don't want to get paid. I think a lot of people don't want to get paid anything less than $20, $30 an hour, right? I would say that's a pretty consistent wage from, most of my friends or family, and now imagine if you could have somebody take that off your plate for $5 an hour. So you're working full-time 40-hour weeks, or you'd have an Amazon business or whatever it is. Now you hire somebody for $5 an hour that can actually take so many things off your plate. Like, remember, these are real people. Yeah, they might have a little bit of an accent, but somebody might be able to tell, depending on the VA, right, that they're from a different country, but it doesn't matter. You still have somebody that's intelligent, that's working on your business or helping you out with projects or whatever it is for $5 when you value your time at $30. Right. So I truly think that no matter who you are, you should at least try having a VA. Like, make a list of tasks that you can have them take over and bring them on and just start knocking out those tasks, record. And I love to record stuff too, to be honest. Like, if I'm going to teach somebody something, like, ideally you want to record it, right? So, hey, today I'm going to teach you how to do product research. Right? Boom. I'm going to record this. I'm going to go through that. And if I ever want to hire a different VA, or maybe, they get sick, or I want to add to my team, or they have a baby, or whatever it is, you know what I mean? Then I have that training stuff. I can send it to them first, and then we can do, another follow-up to see how much they retain from that. So, the biggest thing is, look, we're paying somebody $5 instead of, trying to pay somebody $15 or $30, or we're paying somebody $5 so we don't have to do the work, and maybe we're actually working a job where we are getting paid $30 an hour. Well, now you just freed up time, like the last one, right? Now you're saving time and you're still making $25 an hour. So, and there's also another benefit. So make sure you stay to the end of this, because this will also make it more cost effective for you. Okay. So number 9 is that they are proactive, or they can be proactive, I should say. So, one huge thing about having a virtual assistant is they're in your business literally 40 hours a week, or you could get a part-time one. So maybe it's 20 hours a week, but it's a big part of their life, right? So they really want to do good and please. And as long as you make sure they're comfortable and they're able to come to you with ideas and, because sometimes they'll know parts of your business a lot better than you do. So you really want them to be able to come to you with ideas or things that they think they could change, right? Because they truly can be extremely proactive. I've had VAs come up with all kinds of, cool different ideas, or just noticed or showed me something that I thought was working, but in reality was not, right? So they can be extremely proactive, and they can, just like anything else, right? If you have two eyes on something, a lot of times, having that second eye on it can, it has a different perspective, and it can just help you figure out some things to do better or fix some issues that you had. Because I can personally tell you, I've had a lot of VAs come up with a lot of good ideas and also show me that I'm doing a lot of things wrong, so we all have things to work on, and that's a huge benefit, is that they truly can be extremely proactive. Okay, so number 10, I was actually going to wait to the last one to do this one, but another benefit why they are cost effective is going to be tax benefits. So remember, I am not a tax attorney, I'm not a CPA, I don't have, this is not legal advice, you should always talk to a tax professional. But with a VA, when you're paying, let's say, an agency, so if you come to like Profit Stampede and you hire a VA from us, right? So we actually are essentially a service, right? You don't have to send us a W-2 at the end of the year, right? You're paying for us to help do product research, to help do these things, right? So it's not you're not having to actually deal with the whole tax stuff as far as W-2s. So number 11 is growing your business. So if you want to scale your business, it's pretty much impossible unless you build a team, right? So if you have a virtual assistant that can take over those tasks like doing product research or opening up accounts with suppliers, customer service, all those things, of course, that saves you the time so you can concentrate on what's important, like, building relationships with bigger, better suppliers, or coming up with the idea for a new product, private label product, or whatever it is. But you have to have a team that can take over all those tasks if you really want to grow. And of course, it really helps if you're paying them $5 an hour rather than $12 an hour. So, I will say, of course, there are some tasks that you do have to hire out from the US or local stuff, right? Virtual assistants are only good for things that you can do online. But truly, if you want to grow your business, having a virtual assistant at $5 an hour, now let's say you have 3 of them, you're still at $15 an hour. So you could have 1 employee in the US, or you could have 3 in the Philippines or Jamaica, or wherever you want to get your VA from. So if you want to grow your business, if you want to scale it, you should truly be looking into hiring virtual assistants to help you out. So number 12 is they are eager to learn, or most are eager to learn. Of course, we're hiring people and there's always going to be some good with the bad. But in my experience, especially in the Philippines or Jamaica, these people are very eager to prove themselves, to help you out with your business, to take over, because for them, it's very important to have a job that is feeding their family. I know it's especially in, actually a lot of places in the world right now, a lot of people are having a hard time ever since COVID. The jobs have been more scarce, right? So when COVID hit, let's say in the Philippines, they shut down all the call centers, which meant a lot of people lost their jobs. So I was actually living in the Philippines when that happened, and I think we had 6 offices with 300 different VAs, and we had to shut them all down, right? So a lot of business, we lost a lot of business. It was hard on the offices. Some of them shut down because they weren't going to get money for a long time. So all these things happened. Well, we had tons and tons of people that lost their job, right? And we were not able to hire them all back, right? So there's a lot of people out there really looking for a job. So I'd say of any time now, people are extremely eager to learn and prove themselves because they really need these jobs to help pay for their family, especially in the Philippines, a lot of people take care of their parents. So that's actually one reason why I got into this business, is because of COVID, or hiring out virtual assistants, is because COVID hit, all those people lost their jobs. I knew them personally. I lived over there. I worked with them. I even went out, we'd go out together, some of them at least, you know what I mean? So these people knew me personally, and they started reaching out to me and like, hey, I can't, nobody has a job. We can't feed our family. Like, can you help me find a job? And of course, I've been selling on Amazon. It's allowed me to travel the world. I had the freedom, so I started Profit Stampede actually, which is hiring out virtual assistants and linking people, clients to the right virtual assistants, doing pre-interviews, all that stuff. So I started all that for the necessity of, you know, just trying to help these people find a job, because I probably had, you know, 10 people in my inbox. It felt like every single day, and I feel bad. You know, I'm a nice person, so, you know, so I started like reaching out and trying to find them jobs, and of course that's not easy, you know, making videos, things like that, you know, talking to clients, it takes time. But yeah, I truly believe that these people, they need the money, they want to learn, they're real people, and if you can train them and make sure that you give them the right processes, and then also, you know, you need to keep track of them, because they are people. Not all of them are going to be perfect. Some of them will start slacking, which we always hook people up, you know, with tracking software where we have, you know, it takes screenshots of their computers. It does a lot of different stuff like that. So that would be the next to the last one, which is they are truly extremely eager to learn if you give them, you know, the right direction. So number 13 is going to be great English. So this is a huge thing, right? We want people that communicate, and, you know, we want them to have a pleasant accent. Of course, depending on where you get a virtual assistant in what country, there's, you know, obviously different accents, different personalities. You know, Filipinos are very, they really want to please, you know, they're very worried about doing wrong, you know, so sometimes, you know, when they first meet or interviews, they can be a little bit more timid, but they, you know, then those other, you know, benefits come out. So, you know, so Filipinos have amazing English. I really like to hire people from Jamaica. Jamaica has a great, just confidence about them, right? They got that Patois slang, but it's, you know, that Jamaican accent, but they have a lot of confidence, right? So it just kind of depends on what you're looking for, but I think there's good and bad in every single country. And the biggest thing comes down to is just interviewing and seeing how you vibe with the people, right? Because, you know, it's, you know, it depends on your business. Like Amazon, I don't care as much about English as I do if I have somebody setting appointments, right? Or doing the sales, picking up sales calls, or, you know, working, you know, we work with like a lot of brokerage and real estate people, right? That are just all voice, you know, so it really depends on what you're looking for. So yeah, I truly believe, you know, these people, they don't have bad, you can find people with really good English, and as they get more comfortable with you, it just becomes more and more natural, and they truly believe. I have VAs that have been with us that, you know, 4 years ago, did not sound as good as they do now, you know, so when they're working with English every single day, it gets better. But, you know, most of these people truly have good English. So guys, thank you for waiting around to the end of this video. And like I said before, you know, you can go ahead and click the link down below if you'd like to get set up with a VA. But also at this end screen here, I'm gonna go ahead and put up some different interviews right after this, so you guys can go ahead and see what type of, you know, VAs, how the VAs sound, how we interview them, like the pre-interviews, stuff like that. So once again, thanks for checking out Journey Soup, and I look forward to seeing you guys later.
Smartphone for the dumb bread, clip full of the bad in the bed frame. Same one for the break.